Okay, so this is a video for our joy of sharing, and I'm going to do some back to basics. What do you do with very ordinary supplies? And right now, excuse my dogs, they found something interesting to see at the window. Shh, 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 you guys, shh. So I'm going to use Scotch tape, and that's what we call it here in Canada. People call it different things, different parts of the world. You know what I'm talking about. It's just that ordinary crap that you use to mend paper. So, besides mending paper, torn pages and stuff, what else could you use it for in an art room? Well, here's what I use it for. I use a lot of napkins in my work, and I use it to take the um, linings off the napkins because you can only really use that first layer. And often a napkin comes with at least one extra layer, sometimes two. This one's going to come apart like, nothing. The last one I tried, believe me, it was a real struggle. So you just stick a little piece of tape on there and you pull. And sometimes you pull, you tug and you tug and tug, and sometimes you even rip the paper, but you seldom rip the first layer, which you're trying to preserve anyway. So that's my tip and trick. I use, as I said, I use a lot of napkins, so I found that very useful. Otherwise, you're picking at it and picking at it, and it's a little frustrating. The other thing that I like to use, this is a wipe-off book that I like to use Scotch tape for is to just pick up a little bit of text print. Oh, and I folded it on top of each other, so it's no good. Okay, let's try again. So maybe you like this fancy writing here, and you're just gonna pick up that fancy writing and just lay the tape down on top of it. And this is an old book, so the paper comes off quite easily. Sometimes you have to give it a little scrape. So that came off, and it also has a little bit of transparency, so you can see some of what the layers are underneath. So that's kind of fun. I like that. This particular one says "The Girl Who Trod on a Loaf." Not one of Hans. This is a Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale book, and certainly that's not one of his most famous. Anyway, so you can do it that way and actually pick up words you like, or you can do it like this and just pick up print. So it's kind of washi tape, it's kind of like that. So if you want to text without paying Mr. Holtz big money for his washi tapes. The other thing is I use it with it's virtually the same thing, but I use it for picking up dictionary pages. And I'm going to use, I'll show you how I use it in an art piece in a minute. So here's a little dog, and I'm going to just pick him up. And of course, and it didn't work at all. Oh, I'm having a good time. Okay, so usually this works like a charm. So, not sure why. Okay, let's see about this seal. You do have to worry about how much other crap you have on your hands. So if you have like lotion or something and you're touching the tape, that may interfere with it coming off. Oh, there, this is better. So that came out. That came out a little better, right? Okay. It's not 100% focused, but you get the idea. Okay, so these are the things that I do with tape, with Scotch tape. Very useful item for the things you would normally think of, but here's a few things that you might not think of. I do warn you that the surface is take you will need to glue it down with matte medium or some other kind of glue. Matte medium works best. And if you're put it down and then put the matte medium over the top, you won't have any trouble putting paint on top of it. If you use something like a glue stick, then that plasticized surface on the top of the tape is going to pick up um, paint differently. Okay, one more thing that you can do with tape, and that is you can pick up paint off your board, off your mat, or your gel plate. This works better with can you see that? Yes, you can. This works better with packing tape. That's the word I'm looking for. Packing tape, because it's bigger. But you can pick up things off your, little bits of color if you want something specific in a specific place, or you just want to play, wherever. Especially if you're doing small things, you can see all the different bits of color I've got just off this mat, which is, never clean. Okay, so, all right, so those are the things I do with tape. And then I'm going to come back right away and show you how I made this with the using the items that I used Scotch tape on. Okay? Alrighty. Okay, so what I'm doing here is showing you what I can create with the things that I have showed you in the first part of the video. So I am making a postcard size thing. Postcard size postcard? Okay. And I had actually had a video showing the techniques in the first part with exactly these supplies, and somehow it got screwed up. It's slow motion. I can't get it back to the original speed. It's a pain. So I had to refilm this. So this is a napkin that I used the Scotch tape to take the backs off of. And believe me, this napkin did not come off as easily as the first one. There's the one you saw filmed. Some of them are stuck quite well. And interestingly enough, it's it tends to be the cheaper ones that are stuck well. So I don't know why that is. One of those weird things in life. Yeah, so I'm taking this napkin of a seahorse, and then I'm taking the little bits of things that I have lifted off book text and dictionary pages, and I'm going to adhere them to this that I did, and I'm going to adhere them to this postcard.
And I'll show you, I know I'm quite far away here with the camera, but I'll show you close-ups at the end. So this is just little bits of, just like you saw me do, just little bits of book text and little bits of dictionary pages, and I'm going to matte medium them down to the, on top of the um, napkin. Um, yeah, I want to say thank you very much to Marianne at Marianne's Creative Mix, because she sent me this seahorse in Happy Mail, and I was very happy to receive it, because seahorses are among my favorite um, little critters in the universe. They're so unusual in their shape and also in their behavior, because it's the fathers that look after the babies. And you know, I think in this modern world, that's probably an interesting thing. I know that in my family, my son-in-law does a lot of the caregiving, and I really appreciate him as a dad. So there's nothing much to see here in terms of techniques. You know, matte medium the Scotch taped items down, and make sure you put some Scotch tape over the top, so that if you want to put paint on top of them, they will accept that more easily if they've got a coat of matte medium on them. Yeah, so I'm drying it now, and then I'm gonna fuss with it. I'm gonna put, you know, highlights on it with the white Posca pen, and I'm gonna put some metallic Sharpie on it to give it some sparkle, and really, that's about it. So, if you want to watch, fine, and if you'd like to speed forward, that's fine too. I would, I will show some close-ups at the end, so if you want to see those, you might like to see those. So I'm fairly far away here at this camera. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of music on, and you can have a peek at the close-ups. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you think you might be interested in other things I'm going to put out, and also leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. If there's something that you would like to see, or if that you would. Or that if you have some feedback for me, or you just want to say hi, that'd be great. All right, I'll see you on the next video.